another close one was New Orleans and Carolina. And
I watched this game quite closely. I was really excited about this game because, like I said in the predictions about a week or so ago, this is a game that plays hard, divisional round game. Teddy Bridgewater coming back to play the Saints as well after obviously being shipped out. I think they gave him $60 million at Carolina to be their quarterback. He is an excellent player. I thought he played very well. Ultimately, this came down to who had the extra bit of quality when it mattered, and the Saints as an overall team have slightly better quality. Alvin Kamara is a better weapon than anything that Carolina have to offer, and this was a very competitive game. And even if the Panthers had turned up with a banged up side and not much in the way of weapons, they would have run it as hard as they could because they are that kind of team that will play the Saints close. This is a very competitive division, arguably the most competitive division. People are saying that the NFC West is the best division. That's definitely up there, I think. But I think as far as competitive nature goes, you got the Panthers, the Bucks, and the Saints all very good sides, all very capable, all have excellent quarterbacks, great offenses, reasonable defenses. I think the Saints' defense is a little bit lacking, and I think that might ultimately show when it comes to playoff time. But Drew Brees had a good game. Alvin Kamara, of course, lights out as always. He is, for my money, in my opinion, the MVP of the season right now. A lot of people won't say that, but ultimately, I don't put it down as the MVP has to be playing for the best team. For me, the MVP is the person who, if you take him out of their team, will have the greatest impact. And I think if you take Alvin Kamara out of the Saints team, I don't think they're half the side that they are. I think they actually struggle immensely. And the amount of offense he gives them and the amount of options he gives them is crucial to whether Brees will have any success this season.
Absolutely. And can we just say that Drew Brees didn't have Emmanuel Sanders because of COVID, and he did not have Michael Thomas because he finally came back from his attitude adjustment, and then he messed up his ankle in practice.
Yeah, Michael Thomas is starting to prove to be a bit of a liability at the moment. I hope that's not the case going forward. I hope that when he does start playing, he's going to be lights out again. But to be honest, if I'm looking at it, for me, Emmanuel Sanders is a bigger miss because he can do all the dirty work too. He's a much better professional. You'll know, being a Steelers fan, just how crucial he was. I know as a Broncos fan how crucial he was to us. Frankly, we wouldn't have won a single game if it wasn't for him over the last few years since we won Super Bowl 50. I think Emmanuel Sanders is a much more valuable weapon than I do Michael Thomas. Obviously, I'm not all about the hyperbole and the excitement and going over the top like a lot of broadcasters are. I look at the genuine facts. And although Michael Thomas might be a more explosive player, I'm going to trust the guy who's a consummate professional, not the guy who smacks his teammates in the mouth and then gets fucking, injury prone all of a sudden as well. There's a lot of problems right now with Michael Thomas. Needs to, like you say, attitude adjustment, needs to fix his shit, needs to get his shit in order and start acting like a grown adult. And this is, unfortunately, what happens with a lot of these wide receivers. We saw this with Antonio Brown and his meltdown. The ego is too big, and long gone are the days of Jerry Rice. Players don't always behave professionally. And Emmanuel Sanders, the reason that he's not talked about as much is because, frankly, he's not a big diva like a lot of these wide receivers are, like an Odell Beckham Jr., like a Michael Thomas, like an Antonio Brown, who I believe has just been picked up by the Bucks for a year. So, there you go.
Antonio Brown's back with Brady.
I'm excited to see how that works because if anyone can get the best out of somebody and tune them down and calm them down, it is Tom Brady. Whether people like that or not, he's a constant professional. And obviously, Antonio Brown won't have the Bill Belichick regime strangleholding him too much. But that's for the Bucks preview.
Yes. Now we go.
The Saints. They needed that.
The Saints did need that.
If they'd lost that, I would have really feared for their season.
Yeah, absolutely. And can we just say that not big splashy names came out for Drew Brees in this Saints game. I think Mark Callaway was their leading receiver, and I've never heard of the guy, but that's the thing with Drew Brees is he takes these guys that are no-named and not very known and turns them into stars because he launches the ball to them, and they'll get yards after the catch because of his arm.
Alvin Kamara had the most rushing yards, obviously. He was 14 carries, 83 yards, and he was also 65 yards off of 8 receptions, right behind Callaway, who had 75. None of those guys got a touchdown, though. Drew Brees, I will say, he got a rushing touchdown as well, which is fantastic. One thing I will say, I keep hearing about how Drew Brees is in his demise. The guy's in his 40s now. He's still an excellent player. He had 0 mistakes in this game, no forced errors, unforced errors, 29 of 36 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That kind of game is going to get it done. Don't sleep on Carolina. They're a good franchise as well. They may not make the playoffs just because of the competitive division they're in, but Teddy Bridgewater came to play as well. This was an excellent competitive game between two very, very good franchises. Are they world beaters? No, but they're excellent teams.
You could definitely see that Carolina's missing Christian McCaffrey, and he's reported to be getting closer to coming back.
He's close. Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks was the initial prediction, depending on it. These guys are super freak athletes as well.
Right. He's not going to play this tonight, but,
No, I don't think he needs to be honest.
No, I don't either. Were they playing Atlanta, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing Atlanta.
Yeah.